So welcome, everyone. Today is Tuesday, October 12th, 2021. This is Explore Manufacturing Careers. Today we're asking the question and exploring the answers of what it looks like for companies within manufacturing that have defined career pathway programs. Perhaps they've taken part in apprenticeship programs. Maybe they've got a partnership with a career and technical education department in a school, whether a high school or a community college or technical college. So wondering where are those entry points into the manufacturing world and how do you go about getting training? This is Career Force's October Manufacturing Month. You can find lots of information about the industry, the growth trends, and job fairs all over the state on this page. And I do also want you to mark on your calendar October 28th. It's a Thursday. We're going to have a statewide manufacturing online career fair. And I've already tested it out on previous job fairs. It works really, really well on your cell phone, or at least on my cell phone, which is a 5-year-old device, where you can chat, text, and have video conversation with recruiters. So please put that on your calendar. You can go to Career Force MN events. I'll put the link in the chat so you can register through your Minnesota Works account, or send me an email and I'll get you out more information. So glad to have you on that in a couple of weeks. Today, we've got four large Minnesota companies: Marvin, Daikin Applied, 3M, and Minnesota State Advanced Manufacturing Center of Excellence. They've all done some fantastic work within the career pathways area within manufacturing. And so we're just going to go straight to those companies and get you started on what you've come here to learn. So first, I'd like to invite Lizzie Lloyd of Daikin Applied to come and talk about Daikin. Welcome, Lizzie.
Thanks, Liz. Hi, everybody. My name is Lizzie Lloyd. I'm a recruiter with Daikin Applied here in the Faribault locations. Today, we'll go over a little bit about our parent company, Daikin in general, discuss some of our benefits and career pathways, and then I'll have some information on where to apply as well. So Daikin Applied is the world's largest manufacturer of HVAC equipment. Our parent company is Daikin Industries Limited out of Osaka, Japan. So DIL has been around for 96 years and entered the North American market in 2006. That started with the purchase of McQuay and then some other non-affiliated companies, creating Daikin Applied Americas. So that is us. We are a $1.62 billion business. Here in Minnesota, we have 3 manufacturing facilities. One in Owatonna and 2 in Faribault. The newest building is what we call Faribault North, is up the road on Acorn Trail. And that one just started production in 2019. We also, as our greater footprint, have a distribution center in Dayton, Ohio. We have manufacturing facilities in Virginia, as well as San Luis Potosi, Mexico, and then a specialty facility in Arizona. So we have purchase parts throughout the country and then manufacture everything here in Minnesota. We will have anywhere between 1,200 and 1,500 employees in southern Minnesota within the next 5 years. All 3 facilities are growing rather rapidly. Right now, Owatonna and Faribault kind of round out about 4 to 450 for employees, and Faribault North has about 150. And so obviously rapid growth within the next 5 years, which we've been experiencing for the last 3 or 4 years as well. For our facilities, we hire primarily for the same types of jobs. It's just specialized to what we are manufacturing in each building. So there are different product lines in each facility. So we have material stock handlers and warehouse personnel. Our warehouse is in Faribault North as well as Owatonna, and they do supply for Faribault South, both facilities do. And then we have sub-assembly, complex assembly. We do brazing on site, which is our copper to copper, copper to aluminum for our coils. We have test stand operators and then a variety of machine operators. So for training, it really depends on the position. Everything is specialized, whether it is for hand tools all the way up through a certification that you need for test stand operating. So depending on experience is where you would begin training at Daikin. If you are an individual that comes in with very little experience, then we will make sure that you get everything from hand tools, blueprint reading, making sure that you have precision measuring as well before hitting the factory floor. Your career would then kind of grow throughout that with learning those sub-assembly positions, getting into complex assembly. Brazing training has a 400-hour course that you would take to be a certified brazier here at Daikin. So that one is a 2-week classroom training with our brazing trainers. And then hitting the floor, and they check in on you every so often before you're able to braze on your own. Brazing is a career path that's pretty exciting at Daikin. It is unique in the sense that we do regional and then international competitions. So every year, each facility has its own competition, and then after, if you are the winner of the facility, then you go on for the Greater North America, and every other year we have a DIL competition in Osaka, Japan. So the winner of the North American competition goes over to Japan. I spend about 2 to 3 weeks there, obviously getting comfortable and then competing against your colleagues throughout the world. So it's pretty exciting. North America has never won that competition, but it is something that we participate in and provide as a career path. And the other one, like I mentioned, is the test stand operator. That one does require a 2-year HVAC certification. So we work a lot with South Central and other local community colleges to make sure that our test stand operators have that certification. It is a really good career path as well if you start in assembly or sub-assembly and work your way to a test stand operator. That way, obviously, you know how everything is assembled and how it functions. We also have our apprenticeship for maintenance. So again, working with South Central and getting young folks in the door, working with our maintenance crew and that sort of thing. So next, we'll go to our benefits. We are a union facility, and so it is required that everyone join the local 480. It is the Sheet Metal Workers International Association, and depending on the probationary period is where you are in which facility. Typically, it's about 3 to 4 months. There's some specific verbiage behind that. But we do have an awesome working relationship with the local 480. And then we also provide vacation time. So again, varies per location, but employees are eligible for their first year of employment to have vacation. We also provide all of the safety equipment and have a pretty extensive safety program. So our safety glasses are non-prescription, are provided by the company. Prescription safety glasses, we have a reimbursement program up to $100 for a new pair every 2 years, as well as our safety footwear. So steel or composite toe are required to be on the factory floor, and we provide $100 on a rolling 12-month basis or $200 on a rolling 24-month basis for those safety shoes. We provide everything else to you, so Kevlar gloves, protective sleeves, depending on where you are within the factories, bump caps, earplugs, leather aprons, really just dependent on those specific positions. We also have a retirement plan. So those vary by location, but everyone is eligible to take advantage of the retirement plan once you join the union. And they're very nice retirement plans, whichever facility that you may be in. As far as insurance, we provide full medical, dental, and vision insurance. Um, they're high deductible, low deductible, and an HSA on those as well. There's accident and sick time, dependent life insurance, all the major things you would need. I do have a typo here, so I apologize for that. The benefits do kick in the first of the month after the month that you start, rather than the 60 days of employment. So that is an update that we did here in 2021. As far as hours of work, we have shifts that fit everybody, depending on, again, the factory is where the location and shifts are. Faribault North runs primarily first shift, which is Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Faribault South primarily has first and second shift with their 410s. And then that 3 by 12s is mainly the Owatonna location. That one, again, you can see there you're paid for 40 hours, as long as you're there for a minimum of 32. So. And then on this slide here, all of the locations are there here for Southern Minnesota. So we have, again, that Faribault North, Faribault South, and Owatonna. We are hiring pretty extensively. Pay ranges, depending on experience, are anywhere from 18 to 23.50 per hour. Those are increasing here as we enter the last few months of 2021 as well. And then online, you can find all of our positions at daikinapplied.com/jobs or /careers. Either way will take you to where you need to go. You can filter per location, job title, or classification as well.
Thank you, Lizzie. Hey, there's one question. What are the minimum requirements for starting an apprenticeship program with Daikin? Do you have a process for that?
We do have a process. Unfortunately, I'm not 100% familiar off the top of my head exactly what would be required. But Angie, if you go to daikinapplied.com/jobs, it'll either be on there. Otherwise, you can send me an email as well. And I will put my email in the chat for anyone to send me emails with any questions as well.
Thanks. And, what are some of the other options for job seekers who might be changing careers from something similar but not, related, like if they were in maintenance before and now they want to work there? Do you have like on the job training and onboarding, a mentorship where they're paired with a longtime employee? How does that work?
Yeah, so it's dependent on job, like I mentioned. So it would really depend on how much experience the person has as well as what job they go into. But every job has one-on-one training. So when you start at Daikin, we have a 1-week orientation, and that is just going more into depth on Daikin as a whole, all of our company policies, procedures, and that. And then when you hit the floor, you do get a mentor to make sure that you hit certain levels prior to being able to do those job tasks on your own. That's something that you'd work with your trainer as well as your supervisor on. So yes, we do have pretty extensive training. We call them training checklists to make sure everyone's good to go. Another aspect is if somebody is coming looking for a job at Daikin without any manufacturing experience, we are working with a couple of companies and resources in the area on a community training program. So if, again, more information, feel free to email me. But that class is provided by primarily Daikin employees and our engineers to make sure that you're up to speed prior to receiving an offer at Daikin. So it wouldn't just help you get a job within manufacturing at Daikin, but also with any manufacturing companies in the area. Again, we go more in depth on that one, on hand tools, what the facilities are like and what it's like working in manufacturing and just, career and life in general. And then right down into the nitty gritty of anything that you would need to know for the manufacturing space.
Great. And so how do they get connected with that program?
So that one you can send me an email or you can reach out to Adult Learning in Faribault, Faribault High School. Jess at Deed also would have a lot of information. So pretty much any employment resource, somebody within the facility will know about the community training program and we can get you signed in.
Great, thank you. Why don't you put your email in the chat area so people know how to connect with you? And thank you, that's great. And
Yeah.
thank you for all this information about Daikin Applied. I know it's a large employer in the South Metro. I drive by it every time I drive down 35. So I see, oh yeah, that's right. There's Daikin. So I'm glad to have you on today, Lizzie. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me, Liz. We really appreciate it.
Great. Next, we're going to go to the other side of the state, and we have Marvin. Today, we have Michaela Whitmer George, who's going to talk about some of their career pathway programs and how they support employees within their company. Take it away, Michaela.
Awesome. Well, I have had my fair share of coffee today, so I will try and jam pack information in 10 minutes as I can. But if anybody has any questions at the end, I will put my email in the chat as well as on the last slide as well. So let's jump right in. So our headquarters is in War Road, Minnesota. We manufacture windows and doors all over the U.S. And in the next slide, I believe it will have our... Okay, perfect. We'll start here. So we're established in 1912. We're a family-owned company with 4 generations of Marvin family leaders and employees. We have roughly 5,500 employees across 16 cities and constantly growing. We do have a new R&D building that's concrete's being poured in as we speak. So definitely growing every day and hoping to get more 2 additional cities as well. So we were voted the most ethical large company, also #1 in JD Power customer satisfaction, and a top 50 most generous workplace. All right, here is a list of our locations right now. A big thing that I like to note here too is obviously we have our Minnesota locations, but if you would like to travel in the future or potential transfers, you start in a certain location and end up moving, we do allow transfers and encourage transfers. We get a variety of transfers coming to Fargo. I specifically work in the Fargo office with our Fargo and West Fargo locations. And we have people coming in from War Road, specifically Grafton, a lot of Ripley and Roanoke. So definitely room to transfer and a variety of opportunities at each location. The next slide here, Marvin is hiring right now. We have over, I think we're sitting at about 150 openings here at the Fargo location right now. Anywhere from production staff, forklift, quality, shipping. Our maintenance team is looking for a few individuals, as well as in our office. We have our HR business partners, HR coordinators, candidate experience team is looking for another individual, production supervisors, and talent acquisition is what I do. So we are looking for a talent specialist right now as well. So a variety of opportunities here at Marvin. Beyond just manufacturing, but definitely encourage manufacturing. And a lot of our individuals that are in our leadership roles right now, especially like our plant managers and such, they did start in a production position and started their career in manufacturing and worked their way up to a plant manager position. So kind of a fun fact about that. And we like to hire within the company. Obviously, we want others to work outside the company, but if you enjoy manufacturing, we want you to grow a career beyond just maybe a production associate entry-level position. So yeah, next slide is a little bit about our benefits. Variety of benefits, health, finish, vision, and dental insurance. 401k with company match, profit sharing. We are employee owned, so a nice bonus check at the end of the year. It's always nice, depending on the revenue of the company. Which, fun fact, we had one of our record years this year, so very exciting, and we're busy working to beat that record next year. So, additionally, paid time off, tuition assistance. So if you started, let's say in an entry-level position like production again, and wanted to go back to school for an engineering position or a technician, we do offer tuition assistance as well. So something to look forward to in that entry-level position, kind of getting a feel for manufacturing and then growing your career from there. Like I mentioned before, relocation opportunities are definitely welcome, scholarships, and then that career advancement. All right, and the next one, some of our core values: do the right thing, be stronger together, think differently, raise the bar, and believe it's possible. The biggest one that we are focusing on this year is the be stronger together. As currently we're working 4/10s, Monday through Thursday, but we all, with our record year, we all are working Fridays now. So we need everybody in the facility to be stronger together to get our backlog down. So busy, 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 but working as a team is our biggest goal here. So those are our core values. The next slide, just a little bit more in depth on our values. Diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging deserve to be celebrated and embraced. They are basic, fundamental human rights, and our values at Marvin: to do the right thing and be stronger together, call for us to do more, and until then, we are not living out our values fully. Change and progress won't be easy, and it won't happen overnight, but we believe it's possible. In fact, it's imperative. We're committed to doing more. You will be hearing more from us on our efforts in the future. All right. And then the last slide here is where you can apply. Our careers page is probably our best resource for applications. But if you have any questions at all, feel free to shoot me an email. And then let's see here. Our LinkedIn, we do have LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. You can see all of our openings on Indeed as well. That is a major platform that we use. Trying to think of anything else I missed here.
Well,
Let's see here. Yep.
tell us a little bit more too about the same question I asked Lizzie with the mentoring or on the job training and how you support new employees and help them grow within.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah. So we have applicants from all over the states and all over career-wise. Looking for a new career opportunity, they apply. And we walk through kind of what we do. We make sure they get a tour during the interview, so you're able to see what you'd be getting into, the different areas between fabrication, paint, specials department, multiple different departments. We'll make sure you're able to see. But if you were to get hired on, we do offer in-depth training. So everybody goes through the same training, our office staff and any of our production indirect staff. So when I first started about 9 months ago, I had to go through our in-depth training of learning how to use general hand and power tools, learning the colors of each of our wood and our Ultrex. So we make sure everybody learns the basics, and then you have 2 days of in-class training, if you will. So more of the PowerPoints, more of the book learning for 2 days, and then the third, fourth, and fifth day, you'll be out on the floor with a personal trainer. So they will go through each portion of what you'll be doing, and then also train you into different departments. So if you were training into one department, they would show you in depth, step by step, how to do that. And then when you change to a different department or a different area of the production line, we'd send that same trainer with you to kind of go through each portion. So no experience is necessary for our assembly production. It's completely trained on the job. Just someone that's willing to learn and wants to get into manufacturing is exactly what we're looking for.
Great, thank you. And then how do employees find out about how they can promote, from within? I mean, you've talked about that you hire from within. Are there um, like sheets on their website that you can see, like if I start there, then I have the possibility of moving into this position, that type of thing?
Yeah, so just like our Marvin careers page, we have a specific one for our internal employees. So every opening from production to a forklift position or shipping, even one step above production, we opened it up to our internal employees for 10 days prior to hiring externally. So all of that is accessed on our webpage that they learn about in orientation. And you generally get emails, little pop-ups anytime an opening comes available as well. So definitely want to hire within. So we want to make sure everybody knows about them. So we shoot out emails, and then our career pages are the main two forms of contact we give our internal employees to apply.
Great. Thank you.
Mhm.
That helps.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
Um, I think the biggest thing is just obviously that in-depth training, rapidly growing. So the career opportunities are endless. We are known to even make positions. We recently made our talent acquisition team in the past couple years. So it's definitely evolved. And it started as a family-owned company, and now we are large, over 16 states. So we're constantly growing and constantly looking for new talent, and people are motivated to create new positions as well. So yeah, that's all I think I have, unless anybody has any additional questions.
There's none coming through the chat. So
Okay,
people can always put another question in the chat later and Michaela can answer it there. So I thank you very much, Michaela, for being on the call today. And I've put the marvin.com/careers in the chat so people can grab it off there. So
awesome.
thank you very much.
Thanks, Liz.
We're going to shift a little bit right now and invite Ching Olson of the Minnesota State Advanced Center of Manufacturing to talk about the Minnesota State Community College and Technical College and University system and about how they support you, like if you're thinking about getting additional training. So, Ching, over to you.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me
Yes.
clearly? Okay,
Yep.
great. Hello everyone. My name is Chen Olson, and I'm with the Minnesota State Advanced Manufacturing Center of Excellence. We are one of 8 centers within the Minnesota State colleges and universities. To give you a short introduction, each of the center serves a major industry that faces workforce challenges and the centers collaborate with the industry and educators to find solutions to these challenges. And so I'm within the field of manufacturing. And for today, I thought I would share with you several ways you can enter the manufacturing industry. And I'm glad the information I will be sharing is an extension and an echo of information that Daikin and Marvin have shared. Liz, you can move on to the next slide. So I hope it is no surprise to you that manufacturers are in need of employees. If you have relevant experience and education, great, because you are needed. If you do not have relevant experience or education, employers are willing to hire someone with potential and provide you with the needed training, as demonstrated by Daikin and Marvin. So I think if you would like to enter manufacturing, start by searching on employment websites and start applying to as many jobs as you can. One example is Career Forces website, which a lot of you might be familiar with. You can go to this website and see what positions are open and get information on how to apply. You can even search for positions that are closer to you or within commute distance to you. And then Indeed is also another good website, which Marvin also cited. So yes, that's one way to enter the industry, which is apply to open positions. And secondly, um, uh, another way that was mentioned is that if if you would like to get into a specific job and you would like on-the-job training for the job, an apprenticeship might be a good option for you. One centralized location where you can search for manufacturing specific apprenticeships is on the Department of Labor and Industries website. On their website, you can view, you can search for apprenticeships specifically in manufacturing or for other industries such as IT, transportation, constructions, and more. And this would be the website that you would go to. And I also included a screenshot on how the web page look like. And if you click on Find an Apprenticeship, that's when you can start searching. All right. And another option I will touch on today is getting knowledge and skills from manufacturing through formal education. There are many ways you can go about this. You can take one course, for example, maybe a course on safety standards for production workers, or you can pursue an entire program at the certificate, diploma, associate, or bachelor's degree level. Um, a certificate takes a shorter time to complete as compared to a bachelor degree, which usually takes a minimum of 4 years. But depending on where you are, you may have to find a way or an education path for you that is different for others. Say you are in your 30s or 40s, and or you have a family and you find yourself in this position where you have to look for a new job or a different job, and the priority is to get a job as soon as you can. I would say get to this priority first. Get a job, and chances are you'll be in a job that will provide you with basic training to get you into a position. And after things settle down, you can take one or two classes at a time. Before you know it, you will have an entire certificate completed. And hopefully this would mean that you can step into a different or higher position right from where you are currently working. Like Marvin Windows mentioned, they provide tuition assistance, in the example of someone that they hire, and that person would like to get additional training or would like to increase their skills, would have another position that they would like to work towards, they provide tuition assistance. So this would be a great opportunity to enroll in a program or to start taking courses at a college. So if you are intrigued but you're not sure, I want to encourage you to contact a college, maybe one within commuting distance from you, to see what manufacturing programs they offer, get more information, and potentially apply to the college. I would say anytime is a good time to apply, but the week of October 25th, from October 25th to October 31st, that week is an especially good time because Minnesota State institutions that have an application fee are waiving the fee for that week. So that would be a good time to apply. And at the same time, you should also complete the free application for federal student aid, also known as the FAFSA. One important message that I want to impart is don't stop yourself from doing this because you think you're ineligible. It is very important that you apply every year to find out if you're eligible for federal or state grants, because your eligibility could change from one year to another, especially if there's a change where you had a job and then you didn't have a job for an extended period of time. That could change your eligibility. And additionally, you should also contact the college's financial aid office to find out if there are other grants you could apply for. Oftentimes, there is grant money available for students going into the field of manufacturing. So find out what resources are available to you as much as you can. Then, usually after your application is processed, you will get next steps information. And one of the steps is to register for classes. If you're ready to register, then I would say proceed to register. And then after you get class schedule, start doing the preparations before classes start. Like get your books and make sure that you know where your classes are. And if you have a part-time job, make sure you find work with your employers and come up with a schedule where you can work and go to school and things like that. If you're not ready to register after that, you can always call the admissions office to let them know you would like to push your admission date to a later semester instead. I would say this step is important because then this would reduce the number of mail and email reminders that you will get, encouraging you to register. And then there are also situations where if you register for classes and then you get a job offer, a full-time job offer that conflicts with your class schedule. In this situation, contact an advisor. Get help in dropping the classes before they start. This way, you won't end up with financial obligations for those courses. Yep, that's all I have for this slide. And then lastly, if you are not sure where to start or which college to go, it might be helpful to explore these two websites, these two resources. Our website, which is mnmfg.org, or the Minnesota State Colleges and Universities website, which is minstate.edu. On both websites, you can find specific programs where they're offered, which colleges offers them, and some examples that I can think of are medical device manufacturing, plastics and molding, welding, and more. On the Minnesota State website, you can also search for any other program that the entire system offers. Or you can filter to see how many colleges are close to you and maybe start there instead. All right. Yes, that's all I have for you today. I know everything I mentioned takes time and effort, so I just want to say good luck in your search. And if there's any question, I would be happy to try to answer them. Or if you think of a question later on, you can always email us at mmfg@minstate.edu or give us a call at 218-755-2997.
Thank you, Ching, for all the information. I think your point about asking questions is really critical, because you had said there could be grants available.
Mhm.
And you never know until a person asks. And you also said about, get a job, get a job in one of the companies that you've got your eyes on,
Mhm.
and figure out how you can work and go to school. So yeah, I appreciate both of those points.
Right. Yes, get your foot in the door. It may be entry-level position, but as you've heard so far, there are opportunities within for you to move up or move into a different role uh, within the companies.
Right,
Mhm.
right. Thank you very much. So I've put the email in there in the chat,
Mhm.
mnmfg@minstate.edu.
Mhm.
And also you can go to minstate.edu and they've got a great search engine for more information. So
Yes,
thank you very much, Ching.
thank you.
We're next going to transition to 3M. We've got Katie Ketterhagen from 3M on, and we're going to have her share her slides. We're going to see how this works. So I'm going to stop sharing mine, and Katie, if you want to,
Can you see my screen?
yeah, go ahead if you can.
Perfect. All right, so thanks so much. So a little bit about 3M.
Hold on,
Sorry.
we don't see your slides yet.
Okay, let me try this again. Let me know when you can see it.
It's starting now.
Okay.
There we go. All set.
All right. So let me get started. So, 3M, you might not always see our technology, but you know that you're never very far away from the impact that our technologies can make. At 3M, we have over 96,000 employees worldwide. And we're all dedicated to science exploration, driving to understand our customers' needs. And at 3M, we strive to solve today's challenges and prepare for the future, aiming to create a more positive world through science. Our impact spans markets, many markets, and today you're never more than 10 feet away from a 3M technology working to improve your life. Um, we've been around for a long time and, we are originally a Minnesota company. So 3M stands for Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing. And for over 110 years, we've been dedicated to science exploration at this company. Again, and our home base has always been Minnesota. Um, to understand 3M, you must understand our value model. It is how we create premium and differentiated value for our customers and employees alike. Our vision drives everything we do here at 3M. As a company, we're driven by both performance and purpose. Our strengths are the foundation of 3M and makes us stronger than some of our parts. Our priorities are how we grow. They position us for long-term growth and success and represent how we constantly are evolving to build a tremendous foundation. And our values, which are what guides us, they bind us together as one 3M and are the center of our culture. A little bit about what we do here. And so we're separated into um, 4 distinct business groups, our safety and industrial, our transportation electronics business group, our healthcare business group, and our consumer. So you can see the wide variety of industries that we might touch that might impact your lives. On the next slide, I'll talk a little bit about how one company can do so many different things in so many different industries. But before we move on to that, in terms of locations in Minnesota, first of all, we have over 100 manufacturing sites alone in the United States. Our Minnesota sites are Hutchinson, Eden Prairie, Cottage Grove, New Ulm, Alexandria, and Fairmont. And we even have sites right across the border in Wisconsin. The one that would probably be closest to the folks in Minnesota would be our Menominee, Wisconsin site. In terms of positions we fill everything from assemblers to warehouse to maintenance to welders to technicians and other types of manufacturing positions. Um, for the jobs in warehouse and like for assembly, we're open to people of all different levels of experience as long as they're over the age of 18 years of age. Our skilled trade positions, we hire anyone from right out of school to, out of a 2-year like associates program, which we just heard about, to people that have a number of years of experience in lieu of education. So we're very open to considering candidates from all walks of life for these roles. So a little bit of, how 3M does what we do in so many different industries. I kind of like to tell the story of one of our core technologies, which is adhesive technology or sticky stuff. And so we'll take that sticky stuff and we'll apply it to a piece of paper and we'll make a product like a Post-it note. We'll tweak that glue recipe and we'll send it over to, like our healthcare business group. And we'll use it to make like a wound care bandage that you would use post-surgical procedure to help decrease the likelihood of infection post-operation. We'll tweak that glue recipe again and we'll send it over to our automotive aftermarket division that supports our safety and industrial business group. And you might use it to, cover your car with a really cool wrap. So if you've ever seen one of those cars that have the either clear adhesive or maybe the really colorful adhesive that isn't done by paint, well, that's all 3M technology. Or if you've ever gone on a subway or on the metro train when they're covered in cool wraps, that's all 3M technology wrapping those vehicles. And finally, we'll tweak that adhesive recipe and we'll partner with a company like Boeing and we'll use it to glue airplane wings on planes. And yes, those airplane wings are glued on. They are not bolted on. So it's 3M technology sort of being applied in multiple different industries across multiple different platforms. A little bit about how we work. 3M is committed to creating a more sustainable future for everyone and a really strong foundation in sustainability. We also know that we have the ability and the responsibility to do even more to create a sustainable future. Going forward, 3M is focused on 3 priority areas where we can make an impact on the world for a more sustainable future. This includes science for circular, which is about designing solutions that do more with less materials to accelerate the global circular economy. Global for or science for climate, which is to innovate and decarbonize the industry, accelerate climate solutions, and reduce our own environmental footprint. And finally, science for community, to create more positive world through science and inspire people to join in doing so. Additionally, in our goal to create a more sustainable future, 3M is focused to 3M's goal is to innovate and decarbonize the industry, accelerate global climate solutions, and improve the environmental footprint. So what does that actually mean? Back in 2019, Mike Roman, our CEO, pledged to transition all of our global operations in more than 70 countries to 100% renewable electricity, as well as increase the interim target for electricity sourced from renewables from 25 to 50% by 2025. In March of 2020, our global headquarters in St. Paul, Minnesota, flipped to 100% renewable electricity in source. So finally, if you're interested in applying for 3M, you can visit us at 3m.com/careers. I've also included a link on the slide and I will put this in the chat. You can also find us on any of your social channels, LinkedIn, Indeed, Instagram, Twitter, to find our jobs. We have close to 700 jobs currently posted in the United States, and about half of those positions are in the manufacturing space. So, we hope you come and explore a career with 3M.
Thank you, Katie. Would you be willing to answer a little bit of the same question I asked the other two about support for new employees and how do you get a person onboarded and then supported over the course of years?
So people coming into the company, can come in multiple directions, right? They can come in as a full-time employee, or they can come in as a contract worker if they want to try us out first. We have a high percentage of contract workers that convert to full-time, especially in the production space. How we support our employees and their growth is, besides offering them great benefits and healthcare and 401ks. We also accelerate their journey by offering education reimbursement if someone wants to go back and get, like at a 2-year associate's degree or a 4-year degree. That's all dependent on the position that you're working in and your supervisor, but we do often support education reimbursement. We have a lot of great stories within our organization of people starting with us when they were 18 years old, and the next thing we know, they're a VP of something or another in one of our divisions or businesses. And so the greatest thing about working at 3M is you can work for one company your entire career, and you can span multiple industries and multiple roles within the organization and never really get bored. And so, there's just a number of opportunities for growth with a company like us that has 96,000 employees and operations and, well over 100 countries. There's endless possibilities.
Great, thank you. Yeah, that is a definite benefit, as we've heard, from 3M and with Marvin and Daikin too, how you can apply and move around. So there's a lot of flexibility in a larger company. Thank you very much for being on the call today. I've put your careers page in the chat so people can pull it off right there. And I'm guessing, Katie, if people have questions, is there a link within that page that they can email and a recruiter would respond to them?
Yep. So if you visit our 3M Careers website, you will find there is on this website, it's pretty simple. It says talk to a 3Mer, and you can put in a ticket and someone will circle back with you.
Great, great. Thank you very much. Good. Well, this has been great to hear from all of the companies about, their opportunities and how, they support you as you apply and hopefully get hired and then grow within the company. So I just had a one more screenshot of what Ching was mentioning earlier about Department of Labor and Industries website. You can go to this page, apprenticeship, about apprenticeships, and if you're an employer, there's information for you. If you are a student or a career changer, and I have to say, I have heard plenty of stories of career changers of all ages, including their 30s, 40s, and 50s, switching in. So that is an option. And if you're a parent or a counselor or a teacher, the Department of Labor and Industry in Minnesota has information on that too. That's directly speaks to what type of information you typically are looking for. So go to that site. I do want to remind you that the next 2 weeks we've got more companies from within Minnesota's manufacturing world. So please pass on the message that these conversations are taking place. Next week we'll explore more about the intersection between sciences, especially the life sciences, engineering, and manufacturing. And then the following week, we will be talking about materials and consumer products. There are a lot of companies that work with raw materials to design and manufacture things that are sold directly to us, the consumers. So please put those down on your calendar, and you can go to our virtual and interactive services page in order to register for those. But there are job fairs taking place this week too. One with the metro region is going on right now. So right after this event is over, I've put the link in the chat. I encourage you to go to metroregioninteractive.easyvirtualfair.com and join there. They've got a lot of manufacturing companies. Up North Plastics, Cabinet Works, Invent, Schweeters, Aerospace, Upshur Smith, and many more. So you can go over there, and it's a way to have one-on-one chat conversations, text chatting, along with video chatting, conversations with the recruiters. So even if you think, oh, what's in there for me? Go in there and have a conversation and talk one-on-one with recruiters and see what other options there are, because all of these companies have lots of openings. There's a virtual hiring event tomorrow for the North Metro, the Anoka, Blaine, Fridley, Brooklyn Park, Ramsey area. And then on Wednesday, Washington County is having an in-person fair at the Stafford Library in Woodbury. So that's it feels like a rare occurrence right now to have an in-person job fair. So consider going over there if you're free. But I have to tell you, there are so many hiring events going on every single day and every single week in October, not just manufacturing, but healthcare, retail, hospitality, you name it. So please go to our career fair networking calendar, and I'm trying to find it right now and put the link, bookmark that, because I can attest that every single day another company puts more information on either on-site hiring events, interviews, walk-in, drop-in interviews, or online events. So that's it. There's a lot going on with CareerForce. Please reach out to me at any time if you have questions, and let me help you get connected to another job counselor in your area that can help you with your next move. So take care. Thank you to all of our companies, Marvin, Daikin Applied, 3M, and Minnesota State Center for Advanced Manufacturing. And see you next week.